Hey everybody, it is Jeffrey Jansen. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday afternoon? Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you all are basically doing something worthwhile today. Gracie and I are going to write Sister Florence Kuhn a couple letters today. I'm heading to pick up Gracie right now. I talked with my Aunt Jan, and she asked me, and we are going to be writing some letters. If you know my Sister Florence Kuhn, if you're on one of my broadcasts and you know who my great aunt Sister Florence Kuhn is, let me know, and I'll get you an address. You can actually mail her letters if you'd like. She's over at the Mother House in Indiana, so a lot of you do know who she is. She's in her 90s. She used to work over at St. Vincent's. That's where a lot of people know her from, is from St. Vincent's and St. John's. So if you want her, we're going to be writing her some letters. And I think if you guys want, we're going to write some nuns over at the Mother House up there. I'm sure they're bored. So I'm going to try to get a couple of my friends on here to write up to the Mother House where all these Catholic nuns are, to write a couple letters, handwritten letters that'll help your kids write. And if you want, these nuns will write back also. They're great people. One of the things you can do with your kids today, and I think it's very, very important, is, you know, you might think you don't have anything to do with them, but you got a lot to do with them. And I think one of the greatest things you can do is write your family and friends handwritten letters. Write the letters, put it in an envelope, seal it, put an address on it, and send it. You know, one of the greatest things, one of the funnest things you can do anymore is when you get snail mail. Now, can you imagine the look on your family and friends' face if they get a letter from you? It's something I used to do when I was in the Marine Corps. I used to send out letters. I probably sent out more than anybody else to family, friends, maid, pen pals, and I still do it to this day with friends I have all over the world. Now, granted, we got lazy with social media, emails, and stuff like that, but I still like to write my family and friends handwritten letters, let them know they're okay. I send off pictures that Gracie makes for them and stuff like that. It means so much more to somebody. It also helps your kids with their handwriting. It helps them with their spelling. It helps them with their grammar. Yes, I know a lot of you are going to ask, what's wrong with my grammar? What's wrong with my spelling? Yeah, I'm just a slow learner. Like, in about 60 years, I should get all that covered just fine. Okay? One of the things do not do in any of the letters or on any of your posts, don't bring up politics. Don't bring up the coronavirus unless you want to. The thing about it is we need to keep things positive, okay? The coronavirus is bad. We get that, okay? We understand that. That's something that... So let's start finding positives to put out there for people, okay? I come from Quincy, Illinois, a great community where there is a lot of awesome people. And it's funny, is because they can put their political affiliations aside, and they come together and they work with each other. I can't tell you how many floods that they've helped each other with. I can't help how many storms. We get some crazy storms here sometimes, okay? I can't tell you when someone's got sick or cancer, how many people come together. In fact, somebody called me something the other day, and I looked at him like, no, I don't judge people by politics or their religion, the color of skin. I don't judge people like that. I judge people about their character and how they hold themselves up and what they do. And I was like, the reason why is because I'm not going to get in those debates that create enemies when I don't need to. I like people around me. I like the people in my hometown. I don't care what their political affiliations are, because more than likely, they probably think the same way you do. They just call themselves something different. So, like I said, make sure when you're writing these letters, you know, and do it. And if you guys need somebody to write to, I got all kinds of people all over the world, all over the United States, that love doing pen pals, especially with kids and stuff like that. Okay? And if you want to, keep a journal. You yourself should be keeping a journal every day of things that you're doing, things that you're saying. Now, I learned how to keep a journal from one of my teachers, Patrick. It wasn't Pat McGinley. He was my history teacher. It was... Michelle's dad. It was Humphreys, Mr. Humphreys. He always taught us to use journals every day when we were in school and everything else, and they help out a great deal. Okay, when you're using journals and you're writing things down with your hand, not only does it take time, but it gets that motor function in your brain working. Okay, it really actually starts getting you to think, and you start looking at that, and believe it or not, you want to write a little more. Same way with reading a book compared to reading it on the computer or listening to audiobook. I always tell everybody every single day, if you want to get in a better mood, read 11 good pages of a book. Now, that came from my mentors, okay? But I mean it. Read 11 good pages every day of a kind of book. Now, my suggestion would be have 3 different books with 3 different genres, meaning like one may be fiction, one may be a self-help book, one may be an inspirational book. But read 11 good pages every day of a book, and now that we're home, you can actually read a couple chapters a day, okay? There is no reason why people should be sitting around bored at home, twiddling their thumbs, and then sitting there and just getting miserable. Now, why do I always want to do positive things, and why do I put positive things on there? You know, in a world where we've learned over the last 10, 15 years, even 20, what PTSD really is, and it's been around forever. You know, there are things that cause people depression and anxiety, all right? One of the things that you need to do is keep showing positives in every bad situation. The reason why is because if you can keep a positive in every bad situation, it shows hope. It gives people a little bit of hope. But if all you do is fear-monger and all you do is you go out there and we're all going to die. I mean, there was a person on one of the channels I heard, and then they showed it to me, that said 50% of the population. I mean, how is that helpful to anybody? We know that we need to quarantine. We know we need to keep our hands clean. We know we got to stay away from people. We know all this. We know this is a bad disease. How does sitting there exaggerating numbers help anybody? It doesn't. It makes people, because you know what, they're right. If we can't get people back to work in the next couple months, there will be mass suicide. There will be people that are gonna, because they're so depressed and their PTSD is so bad. And people don't understand that PTSD is a controllable situation until you have no hope. Hope is what usually causes PTSD, or fear and not having anything positive to reinforce, you know, being positive. So make sure that you're out there talking good to people. When you're on social media, say hi to people. Hey, glad to see you. I send out random notes. Hey, you're awesome. You're great. I'm making bread for people today. Making bread for friends and family. I don't consider anybody an enemy. I know people do their jobs, and I know they're good at them, and I know sometimes, you know, we don't always agree with what somebody else says, but I don't hold anybody accountable for what they do, because they haven't done anything that's putting my life in jeopardy or the life of my daughter or my family. Okay? I know some people ask, how can me and my daughter's mother get along great. I think the world of her. She's awesome. You know, we get along fine. That doesn't mean I have to hate her just because we don't see eye to eye on things. I don't see eye to eye with everybody in my family. You know, Marines, I had one of my buddies on here that's a Marine the other day say, oh, I'm like, no, you just assumed that was me. He goes, I love you anyway because you're a Marine. Great. But you didn't know who I was, so you assumed wrong. And he automatically right away thought I was, and he was just joking around with me, of course. But I sent him a message like, no, actually, that's not me at all. I was like, and I don't put anything like that on my pages or anything else. He's like, really? He didn't even know. He just assumed, because we're so busy, you know, tearing people apart, putting people down, you know, we just assume instead of finding out the facts. So my question to you is, what positive stuff are you doing today? Yes, I got a lot of ramblings I do, and yes, you know, I understand that everybody listens to this, but what positive are you doing today that's making your life and the lives of people around you better? All right, sorry everybody, I'm also picking up my daughter right now, and then with her and I got to go over and get something. So positives you can do today. First thing in the morning, tell your kids you love them. Very first thing. Don't, you know, second positive you do, don't argue with your baby's mom or dad or anything like that, you know. Just do what you can to get along. Believe it or not, if you guys quit trying to fight each other on everything and actually start communicating, you might learn you don't get along to where you need a relationship, but you may get along to where it's like, okay, you guys are both safe. I know my daughter's mother takes care of my daughter. I know she's a great person. I don't got no problems with that. And we get along fine. But I see so many other people, they assume. So instead, say something positive. Might throw somebody off key from it, but talk positive about them. You know, if you have hostility towards somebody or mean or hate. Yesterday I had somebody take something I said wrong when I said 80,000 people have survived a coronavirus. That's all I said. Well, they took it wrong, and they didn't know I was going to go ask them, hey, what's wrong? It's because they've had some issues with their mom and dad, and they weren't in their right mind. But when I confronted them and asked them if they were okay, they said yeah, and they were very grateful because nobody reached out to them. And I could only tell that there was something wrong when they stepped out of character, and all of a sudden they were not feeling the greatest. You know, there's a lot of Marines, there's a lot of Army, there's a lot of Navy, a lot of Coast Guard, a lot of Air Force out there right now that being home is causing a lot of difficulty on their PTSD. You may want to find out a way to call them up and say hi. Truck drivers right now, I keep saying this on every little thing, they are the heroes. And also, by the way, those train cars and the train the people that work on the trains and the train tracks and everything else. They're keeping our country moving right now, okay? But a lot of times they may have to go to McDonald's or Wendy's to eat, but with everything shut down, they can't go through the drive-thru. So my suggestion would be, if you see one, ask them if they can take their money, order for them, okay, and then go through the drive-thru, pick it up for them, and that way they won't get in trouble for trying to, you know, that way they can eat, because they can't walk up to a drive-thru window. And let's not break any rules, okay? Our police officers and sheriff's department and all that's out there right now, okay? They're doing one heck of a job, and it's a strain on them because they have to be out there, but they're treating everybody with respect. They understand the magnitude of what's going on. We need to understand these are heroes, okay? Firefighters are going to basically be coming for any emergency situation. They're heroes. Nurses, my gosh, people, look at the strain on the nurses, the nurse practitioners, the doctors, the security, the valets. They are heroes because right now, there are people that are trying to come and get checked that aren't sick, mixed in with the people that are sick, and it's just overloading them, okay? You think that we need all these masks. You know what's going on right now? The more burden we put on them because we need to know, yet we have no symptoms or anything else, they go to work even when they have sick kids at home, even when they have loved ones sick at home. They're still going to work knowing they're helping us, but also knowing they could bring something back. So they're heroes because they're putting their life on the line for each and every one of us. And by them doing that makes them great. But we need to understand that. We need to watch out for that, okay? Cops are going to come to our house anyway. Or they're going to come to a call, or they're going to see if we're okay. But they're putting their lives and their health in danger, okay? Now, by the way, if people are out there, I'm glad kind of the bars are closed. I don't like any kind of mandatory anything to shutting down any type of business. But if you think about it, whenever you're drinking, you're weakening your immune system, okay? Which is a good thing because maybe right now that's helping a lot of people that normally be drinking to not get sick. We all think that, oh, I can drink Everclear, it'll kill everything. No, it really doesn't, okay? Now, as far as the joking side, and for all my Marine Corps brothers out there, do you guys think, give me a thumbs up if you're on there listening, do you think having all that malaria and anthrax and all those, you think that's going to help us? We used to have to take malaria pills to be on float. And the reason why we took malaria pills is so that we wouldn't catch it in Africa and a couple other places. So that's kind of what's going on with that. Anyway, we will be doing some bread tonight. If you know Sister Florence Kuhn would like to write a letter to her and everything else, I volunteered a lot over at St. Vincent's when she was there. I did a lot. I don't like putting, like I said, if I volunteer. Oh, here comes Gracie. Hey, baby. Hi. Shut your door tight. Shut your door tight. Everybody, it's the world famous Gracie Ann. You guys can all call her Baby Boo. Don't call her Baby Boo. Alright, Gracie and I are going to go over True Value right now. But, like I said, write letters. I can't tell you how important that is. Get out a pencil. Learn to use an eraser. Try to your cursive writing. I bet you a lot of my friends that are trying to write cursive are having one heck of a time right now. So I'm going to turn this. Hey, it's Alan Shriver. How you doing, Alan? How you doing today, my friend? I hope you're great. Last night I was listening to my friend Longhorn, Vern Davis, Longhorn the comedian. He was looking for stuff to do on shows and stuff to watch like that. But you know, he's got an upbeat because he has a thing called Thank a Vet. Thank you for your service. And Gracie knows Vern. And they always go around, they thank all the veterans and they give cards and stuff like that. Maybe you guys can start thinking of things to help somebody that you think is really important. You know, I want to tell you right now, moms and dads are heroes for their kids. You know, kids, they're taking it in stride. They're getting this really long break right now, and they're loving it. But anyway, hope you're all having a great day. I got to get everything. We're going to be doing some bread and we're making strawberry pie, by the way. I'm just now telling Gracie that I got everything at home to make strawberry pie. Hey, Alan, you want a strawberry pie, my friend? Ooh, Gracie, I got to get the cream cheese to mix with the sugar for the cream cheese bottom, okay? Yes, I use cream cheese in my strawberry pies, which make them a little bit different. So, by the way, that's what we got to get at True Value. So, anyway, Alan, love you, my friend. Brandon, love you. Everybody else on here, love you. Lindsay, Steve, I love you guys. Love your wives too. Tina, love you. Larry, love you. Michelle, love you. Michelle wants one. Tad Brenner, love you. I just told Tad Brenner I love you. Yes, Tad Brenner, I love you. Brad, love you. Jeff, love you. Lexi, love you. Hope you all are doing great. Hope you all are safe out there. and let everybody know they're important. And I'll talk to everybody soon, okay? I'll talk to everybody later. We're heading over to True Value. We'll be doing some bread and some strawberry pies, and we're going to have all kinds of fun. And wait till we're able to get out in the garden. It's even more fun. So talk to everybody soon. Bye now.